Hello everybody, and welcome to my game review for Ballads of Hongyue. I'm Icon, and in this video I'm going to wrap up in the first half what the game is all about, how it works, what you can expect from it, and in the second half I'm going to give you a personal recommendation overview and a reason why I don't really recommend the game at the very moment. So before we get into the mechanical parts of the game, let's start talking about what is this game. Ballads of Hongyue is a very, very complex game. At its core, it's a city builder, but in its deeper scale, Ballads of Hongyue is actually a game where you basically build up a nation. You start out as a small village, and your goal is to work yourself as a magistrate to the power to govern over all these things. You start out with the city here, and your goal is to keep the income of the city stable, make it grow, let it not go and succumb to diseases and the like. And that's what you're supposed to do as a magistrate. You do that via building various buildings. There's residences for people, there's different industries providing cloth, food, water, wood, and ore to work with, and also of course gold as the ever-prevalent resource to make things happen. So you are also accompanied by your advisors, which basically boost up your outcome. And the key things in this game are quite simply, you are working with a cycle of seasons where all those buildings you have, so for example the cotton field here is very productive during the autumn but not so productive during spring and winter, and every one of these buildings has a natural cycle to go through, and basically your job is to find a mixture of buildings that give you a solid income that will last you through the entire year. While that all sounds pretty amazing, and I really got myself sold into that, this all does not come without problems. But before I go too deep into that, a couple of things here on the side. So there is a talent tree, that's basically your unlock system, and there's also a challenge system or a story system. So every map you play has a certain set of quests. We're going to see that in a second when the timer up here is going down. So after that timer is down, we're being raided by the magistrate, and then we get to get raided, and then we have the control over a region. You have always to stick with 3 quests, and then you're allowed to check out the rest of the area. So you start out with Hongyue, and then you have to work yourself up to all these things. So the next region we're going to conquer there will be West Ridge. There we will have to build up a new city with new challenges, and for every city we play and unlock, we unlock new buildings and the like, and that all sums up the gameplay cycle, roughly. Ballads of Hongyue has a lot of things going on, and as it is typical for Chinese games, there's lots of different layers. So there's for example a social play with the advisors. They get hired away from other provinces, so you have to work for your people for not going away. There's various layers that add in different gameplay. If you've ever played Chinese games, you are familiar with that. They're really, really addicted to all that social gaming. While that all is not bad and all, and Ballads of Hongyue could, at this very point, be a really good game, I want to get into the second part right now, and I want to talk about why I personally cannot recommend it and what I think about it so far. I have right now just went over the positive things, but let's talk about what's not working too well here. So we're going to head on over to Westridge, and with Westridge I'm going to document why I can't play this game and why, until it is reworked, I cannot recommend it. I just cannot. So we are going to buy our rights to go into Westridge now. That's costing us 50,000 bucks, and now basically we set up on a quest. We put up our advisors here. These dudes boost our buildings. It's very complicated, They bring up various different stats, and it's all very, very arcane. You don't get a readout about what these numbers really do, but I'm used to that in Chinese gaming. I don't mind. I kind of like expect that. But here now in Westridge, so first off, the game presents to you this wonderful plan. This plan is awesome because this plan is somewhat balanced to produce all the stuff as good as possible. Now, these buildings will achieve this plan. So, you press confirm, and then the plan is gone. Seriously, it's gone. You cannot open up this plan again. So either you have noted it on a piece of paper, which I did during my streams, or you photographed it, or you have a grade A photographical memory. Whatever might be the case, that's the plan, and you have to work without a plan from now on. And even if you now follow the plan, so our jobs here in Westridge will be pretty simple. Stage 1 goal is ridiculous, Stage 2 goal is ridiculous, and the last goal is to set up 300 people and survive for the remaining 360 days. I haven't finished that in 4 attempts. Why is that so? Because you have here, in the very first mission, I have 15 different agricultural buildings, 7 different buildings for crafting things. Okay, here it's a part locked, but once you get into the second half of the mission, you unlock new you unlock them. So there's a crap ton of different buildings, and well, you don't get any overview over these for real. The only overview you have is found in this ledger here, but this ledger doesn't allow you to navigate to these buildings. You don't have any highlighters about these buildings whatsoever. You have to mouse over everything. There's no filters or anything. There's no tools to accommodate your pain here. No, nothing. And by the end of this mission, which is the very first story mission, your city will most likely go down at least this entire screen here. If you're interested, watch my streams. And there's no tools whatsoever to find these buildings. Okay, I thought like, well, I have a good memory and the like, it's okay. So what really killed me then, though, was these service buildings. So you see, that watchtower here is providing crime protection. There's various different security buildings. So watchtowers against the criminality. Fire watchers against fire, everybody needs those. Insect rack against insect infestation, your agriculture needs these. Hospital for plague defeats, so you need that in residences. Livestock clinic, you get the idea. So, again, I cannot navigate these directly to these buildings, and there's also no lens or filter whatsoever showing you the coverage radiuses of these things, and it's a nightmare. You have a huge thing to manage, and you don't have any tools to manage this huge thing. And that's outright depressing. I really tried it from the bottom of my heart 3 times, and by the 3rd time I was outright frustrated and annoyed, and I threw the towel. What's even worse, and adding insult to injury here, there is no time setting. Ballads of Hongyue only has that one time setting. You cannot make the time pass faster. Why? I have not a single clue. The other thing the game also doesn't tell you while you are in Westridge, the time in Hongyue passes forth as well. So you have to manage both ledgers at the same time. So Westridge and Hongyue have to be managed at the same time. At least you have something to do during that waiting time, but altogether, I don't want to say that Ballads of Hongyue is a bad game in itself. It is very complex. It really tries to do something there. This cycle of seasons really does something. It could be a great game, but without those management tools, it's basically like you're supposed to solve a giant puzzle without knowing the picture. And that's how it feels to play Ballads of Hongyue right now. I'm really sad about that, because I really wanted to play that. I really wanted to like it. I was quite hyped up about the release, but this game hardly feels like a full release. I hope the devs will just take this criticism, because seriously, with some good management tools, this game could be actually something where I'd be at least getting an opportunity to decide whether I like the game or not. Because at the very moment, I cannot say whether I like the game or not. I can only say I can't play it with the given tools because I'm just not smart enough or not patient enough or whatever. But if the very first mission of a game freaks me out like that, I don't know, I cannot recommend it because I play a lot of city builders. I play a lot of games in this genre, and I usually, well, I don't want to say I'm pro gamer or anything. By all means, no. But I'm quite accustomed to this kind of genre, and learning the basics has never been such a problem. And it's a shame because this game is visually stunning. It is so gorgeous. You know, check it out. The textures, they're amazing. It's looking magnificent. There's even a mode in the game which allows you to travel through your city on horseback. But guess what? You cannot even build roads during the first mission. You have to literally beat the first mission to get the allowance to build roads. So altogether, Ballads of Hongyye is sadly nothing I can recommend at this very moment. It's like an athlete trying to make a big score and then just throwing a stick between his own legs, you know? It's sad. I really hope that in the future we will see some corrections in these problems because I want to like this game. Seriously, I love city builders, especially some with some gorgeous outlook like that. I would even be willing to forgive the quirky mixture of genres the game has, because seriously, the social gameplay of Chinese games, I personally don't like it too much, but I guess I'm just not Asian enough for that. I'm okay with that, but altogether, Ballads of Hongye really needs to up their game. You know, we need some tools to manage such a behemoth, and until that's the case, no recommendation from my side. Anyways, so that's the end of the video. I hope you found that helpful, and I really hope that there's going to be a future where I have to take this video offline and make a new recommendation video because the problems have been resolved. But at this very moment, yes, the game is dirty cheap, but it doesn't feel like a full release to me. It just doesn't. So, I hope you found that helpful. Leave me a comment below, leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing to my channel. There's daily content up, and I'd be really happy if you just smack that bell and stay informed whenever something new is happening. Also, check out the support links down there. If you like my work in general, there's PayPal, Patreon, and Buy Me a Coffee as ways and means to give some support back. I'm a small content creator, I have no big sponsorships behind me, and I do all I do for free, and I mean to stay that way. So, yeah, give them a look. I'd be delighted if you do. So, have a wonderful day either way. I hope you come back soon and enjoy gaming. Bye-bye.